in himself in the last 3 years, you should have bought Papa Bia or Memoha in 2017-18. I announced expose my football. You can't say for so long. You started league, you know, cost some for then boom, COVID-19. You suspended league. Kwame for so a how and nobody must share experience with the more you want my youth.
Okay, I about General Kakra, where there's a need for me to zero in on Tema youth. I will provide the information accordingly. Brinya, almost every club at the Division 1 level and Premier level are limited by guarantee, or are companies limited by guarantee or limited by shares. And ordinarily, if corporate governance was very pronounced in these clubs, we should have been able to generate funds from within the company and use it to support the football-related activities. Unfortunately, that is not the situation. In the sense that when you profile the respective clubs, you realize that almost every club is being supported from external sources in terms of our income stream. Let's take Hasselhoff. Hasselhoff, Kotoko are within a certain bracket that most of us cannot even get closer. But even Hasselhoff and Kotoko, with a lot of funding from the gate, merchandising, and you just name them, still cannot support their business activities from funds generated from their own business or football-related activities. It's so disturbing that some of us, including Tobe and Dr. Chi, will have to generate income from other sources. When you look at Tobe, he's a man of many parts, he has got a lot of businesses, but for those businesses, I don't think Hasselhoff would have been on its feet. The same applies to Dr. Che. We are also in the same boat. Nanaya will tell you same, which means that if the businesses that we're using to pipe football-related activities are grounded to a halt by virtue of the fact that we have COVID-19 staring at us, it should clearly tell you the kind of situation that we find ourselves. In the sense that the economy, the world all over, has been confined to the domestic economy. Domestic economy to the extent that most funds are not being generated from external sources, that is, i.e. the importation, exportation, and all those things. So everything is within the domestic economy. So if by way of policies, the government has directed that we should stay at home, or especially during the lockdown, you realize that things are not being patronized at the level that is expected. Those of us who are into frozen food, you realize that the market situation at the respective markets are quite different. The certain arrangement of these fishmongers are now different. They even run shifts. So certainly, the demand for these products will be affected. So if we're generating money from such business outlets to come and fund our football-related activities, certainly we are not going to be able to generate that kind of money to support our businesses. Most clubs, as we speak now, are owing for salaries, not on the account that we don't have the emotional attachment to some of these players and administrators who are working with us, but on the account that we are not able to generate that kind of money to pay or meet our recurrent expenditure. And that is very, very, very difficult in times like this. If we're having our matches, at least some would have, revenue would have come from gate proceeds. As we speak now, there is nothing to that effect. Clubs like Hasselhoff and Kotoko could have realized money or funds from, gate proceeds or merchandising. As we speak now, that is not the situation. So clubs are on their heels And it wasn't strange to me when I heard the renowned commentator, Kwaku, saying that if things are not restored, everything will ground to a halt, and most clubs will not be able to support the activities going forward. He even scratched the surface. When you do deeper and critical analysis of it, Brenya, no matter the situation, there will be no way we will be back to where we left off. And let me illustrate this by a simple example. Let's take it that a supporter was attending House of Folk protocol matches in the previous times. Now, after COVID-19, there's a game at Accra Sports Stadium. Ghana, by our nature, we are socially connected to the extent that immediately you step out, that you are going to watch House of Folk protocol. Pressure will be mounted on you from your parents, your spouse, even your kids. Certainly, you are going to have difficulty in terms of raising money from the gate proceeds. And this will not stop now. It will continue for a very long time, judging from the fact that the COVID-19 is now being accepted as something that is going to stay with us over a longer period of time. So the phobia, the fear of getting infected when you attend such venues is there. So naturally, it will tell on the gate proceeds that is going to be realized. I was just thinking aloud to look at what has happened in Germany, and you realize that they never accepted to play the matches behind closed doors just for the sake of it. They did that for a very good reason, that the fear of their fans coming into the stadium or to fill the stadium to watch their matches will not be there. So they did the assessment and realized that they will need a certain type of financial support to kickstart their league. Fortunately for them, they were able to realize that amount and they are back. I don't think we are in a similar situation because corporate Ghana, we cannot rely on corporate Ghana to support us financially to be back on our wheels. So what I keep on thinking is that by looking at the numbers, will football be back? If football is back, will Osei be in a financially sound position to support Tema youth? Will Togbe Afede be in a similar situation to do same for House of Folk when the businesses that he is relying on to support House of Folk has been badly affected by COVID-19?